In this video, I'll show you how universal revenue recognition works in combination with the sell from stock scenario. With universal revenue recognition, you can combine the benefits of contract-based revenue recognition and event-based revenue recognition. For example, contract-based revenue recognition adheres to standards provided by IFRS 15. And event-based revenue recognition supports real-time revenue recognition after the posting of operational documents. In this demo, you'll see the process steps in universal revenue recognition. You can use a revenue contract to calculate the revenue to be recognized, while postings of revenues and costs are done with the event-based revenue recognition. In this video, I'll show you how this applies to the sell from stock process. Let's start by creating a sales order and then process it in both contract-based revenue recognition and event-based revenue recognition. The first step in our process is to create a sales order with the Create Sales Orders app. Fill in the required data in the highlighted fields in the initial and in the secondary screens. Add 2 sales order items configured to be processed by universal revenue recognition and save the sales order. Make sure to note the sales order ID here because it's going to be used in the steps that follow. Now let's check the revenue contract that's been created for the sales order in the Monitor Revenue Contracts app. In the Operational Document field, enter the sales order ID that you created in the previous step. Here, you see the revenue contract that's been created for the sales order in contract-based revenue recognition. In the header, you can see that the revenue recognition values are 0 and the contractual price has been set to €950. The revenue contract contains 2 performance obligations that correspond to the sales order items. For each performance obligation, contract-based revenue recognition has calculated the allocated amount based on the standalone selling price and the contractual price of each sales order item. At this point, let's switch to event-based revenue recognition and navigate to the event-based revenue recognition Sales Orders app, which you can do by using the quick access link from the performance obligation. In the Sales Document field, enter the sales order ID. The 2 performance obligations that correspond to the sales order items are displayed here. Since universal revenue recognition has been configured to be active in Ledger 2L, let's switch from the leading ledger 0L to Ledger 2L by choosing Set Parameters. You can see the 2 fields for revenue contract and performance obligation. They allow for navigation back to the revenue contract in the Manage Revenue Contracts app. Here, you can see the accounting data as well as the performance obligation for each sales item. Now let's look at an event in the sell from stock process that triggers event-based revenue recognition. To do so, we need to create a partial outbound delivery and make the respective goods issue posting. Let's look at one possible way to create an outbound delivery. Open the Create Outbound Delivery with Order Reference app and enter all the relevant data, such as the shipping point and the sales order ID. In the Picking tab, you can adjust the quantity of the items that are picked and delivered. You can see that we are making a partial delivery here by setting the quantity to 2 and 5 respectively. Next, we post the goods issue. You can see the message that the posting was successful. Let's switch again to the Manage Revenue Contracts app to see the effect on the revenue contract. Here, You can check to make sure that the values for recognizable revenue and contract assets are as expected, that they're based on allocated amounts, and that the displayed fulfillment progress for each POB is correct. Now, we can check whether this event triggered real-time processing in event-based revenue recognition. To do that, let's open the Event-Based Revenue Recognition Sales Orders app. By switching to Ledger 2L, we can see the allocation effects on the revenue recognition values. The values for revenue recognition have been updated. Revenue has been recognized based on the allocated prices. In the next step, let's conduct the period-end closing run for our revenue contract with the Run Revenue Recognition Revenue Contracts app. To do so, we create a new job, complete steps 1 and 2, and enter all the relevant data in step 3. Then we can click on Check, and then we can go ahead and schedule the job. To evaluate the impact of this closing run on our revenue recognition values for the contract, let's switch back to the Event-Based Revenue Recognition Sales Orders app. The period-end closing run has updated our revenue recognition values. You can see that accrued revenue and unbilled revenue are updated. In this video, you've seen how event-based revenue recognition and contract-based revenue recognition interact in the Universal Revenue Recognition process. Now it's time for you to go ahead and try it for yourself.